Hey there, Mr. Stu. Hey there. I appreciate all you put on YouTube and social media. Let me pause right there real quick and throw out a plug for my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@MrStuTV. And then on all social media, I'm most active on Facebook and Instagram with plans to become more active on Threads and X. But on all platforms, it's at Mr. Stu TV. That's MISTERSTUTV. If you think of the Mickey Mouse Club theme song, it's MISTERSTUTV. There you go. Check it out. Make sure you follow me everywhere. As a parent of 4 kids myself, whoa, 4! I need all the help I can get in understanding their little minds. Here's my question. I've been taking my child to therapy for a few months now, hoping it would help with their anxiety. However, I've noticed that they're still struggling with the same issues and haven't shown much improvement. It's really disheartening to see them still facing these challenges. Could you help me understand why the therapy might not be making a difference and what we can possibly do to help them progress? Great question. Thank you so much for asking that. Let's talk a little bit about progress in therapy, and then let me kind of reframe your question just a little bit. You said you've been going to therapy for a few months. That could be any number of things. And just like I was talking about in the earlier question, therapists range in how often they're going to see a client. And that range is dependent on how extreme some of the issues might be or some of the difficulties are, and how much support they feel like that child needs. So you could have been going to therapy for a few months, but maybe you've only had 3 sessions. If that's the case, don't panic. It's okay. Understand that rapport building process of just the child getting to know the therapist, that takes time. Where they are getting to know their therapist and they're getting to trust their therapist and they're really starting to understand, like, no, I really can say or show them whatever it is I need to say or show them. That process takes a bit of time. So give at least a few sessions for there to be that rapport that is built. Then you can really start diving into whatever the main issue is, what we in mental health call the presenting issue, the reason you came in to therapy. So if it's just been a few months and just a few sessions, then don't panic just yet. But let's say it's been 3 months and you've been going every single week. That's 12 sessions. And if you're saying you've seen no progress, that's something to discuss with the therapist. It can be hard. If you see your child every single day, you only see a day's worth of progress every time you see them. And really, you're with them for a lot of the day throughout the day. So you're only seeing minute little steps in progress because you're with them all the time. But your therapist is seeing at least I should say at least, it differs, but probably about a week's worth of time. So they're seeing a week's worth of growth each time they see your child. So maybe they see leaps and bounds of progress and lots of exciting things going on, and you just haven't noticed it because you're too in it. You are around them for the best times and the most difficult times, and those difficult times, man, they are difficult. So it can be hard sometimes if you are the primary caregiver of a child to notice progress as it happens. Sometimes you need to reach out to your therapist and the therapist can remind you, hey, yeah, I know we are not where we want to be, but remember where we started and look at where we are now. We have made a lot of progress. And they would love to have that conversation with you. I hope that they would love to have that conversation with you. So that's one thing to remember, is just rapport takes some time. And also, you might not be noticing it because you are around your child all the time. And so the amount of progress you're able to see is very little as that progresses. Another thing to remember is that progress in therapy isn't linear. It doesn't just go up. It's not like we start here and then whoop, and now everything is better. You've heard the old adage that things will get worse before they get better. And that is almost always the case in therapy. In therapy, there's a diagram where it looks like a roller coaster, where there's a hill and it's like, oh, this is amazing. There's so much progress. And then it drops down and it's causes you to think, why did we even do this? Why are we here? Therapy doesn't work. It's useless. And it gets worse. It actually gets worse than how things were when you first came in, and there's weird things happening and there's new things happening. And then if you stay consistent with therapy and you've got a good therapist who's adding the supports that are needed, then you'll start to see some lasting progress. And that's where things can kind of taper off. So remember that it's not linear where it just goes up and then everything's going to be better. It will be great and then it will get even more intense and you'll want to give up. But remember this conversation that that's part of the process. Don't give up. And if you stay consistent through that part, then you'll see the lasting progress that grows and goes to the end. Keep all those things in mind. Rapport takes time. You don't see progress the same way that your therapist sees progress, and that progress isn't linear. Now, if you are listening to everything I'm saying and you're like, yep, that ain't it. There's just no progress. I've talked to the therapist. They're not seeing much progress either. And things never got better. They have just either stayed the same or gotten way worse and stayed worse for a considerable period of time. It's time to have a conversation with your therapist about if they are qualified to be handling this particular case and anything that they feel might be helpful in adding more support so that your child can make more progress. The final consideration is, how long has the issue been going on? If the issue's been going on for years and years and years and years, and you've just been in therapy for a few months and there's a complicated past, give it some time, because that rapport building process is going to take even longer. And then to work through and get to the roots of the issues that you're seeing is going to take more time. Putting all that together, have a conversation with your therapist about how you're feeling, about the progress you are or are not seeing. See what they say, and then see if you can come up with a mutual plan. Thank you so much for writing in for that question. And I am sending you all good vibes as you work with all of the kids that you have in your life. It's like you have a little classroom there. All right, let's go into the next question.